Welcome to another Chat with Charnie, everyone, and a happy new year. May you all have a blessed 2021. Before I go into today's topic and what we'll be discussing, don't forget to like and subscribe below. Hit the subscribe button so that you can find out more about my videos that I'll be posting in the future. And also, if it's your first time at Chat with Charnie, welcome. I hope that you really enjoyed this video, but also check out some of my other videos on traveling, some topics that I've discussed around work-life stresses, as well as South Africans abroad. So today we're going to be discussing my 5 big lessons from 2020. 2020 was definitely a year of many ups and downs for me. Many, oh, you got the job, to 1 week before you have to leave the country. Actually, you know what, you don't got the job. So we'll be going straight into it. So number 5, you were never ready. You were never, ever ready for a long distance relationship. So now I know people say that long distance relationships are hard. There are loads of YouTube videos out there in terms of how people deal with long distance relationships, the 5 advantages, the 5 disadvantages, all of that. And no amount of planning in terms of, okay, no, we're going to talk like this time every single day, we're gonna do like date nights, we're going to see each other, you know, every 3 months, every 2 months. No amount of planning can prepare you for what's coming ahead with regards to a long distance relationship. Now when I say that, I mean that there are so many things out of your control when you're in a relationship where you're physically together. Imagine how many things there are when you are separated and you're going through a global pandemic. Needless to say, we've experienced quite a few disappointments in terms of when we were going to see each other. We were supposed to see each other in October to celebrate our 1-year anniversary. That did not happen. That did not happen. I think I only saw my boyfriend in month 6 of us being in a long distance relationship. So I wasn't ready. And this is actually a topic that my boyfriend and I want to make a video series on with regards to how we've dealt with long distance relationships. So what was our expectation versus what is our current reality, and the different things that we're trying to do, you know, to keep the relationship alive and to maintain our relationship, because we're currently 2 continents apart. He's in the northern hemisphere, I'm in the southern hemisphere, and we're 7 hours apart. So yeah, I was never ready. Lesson number 4. So, stop telling people you're businessmen. Stop telling them that you got that job opportunity and that you're still waiting to sign the contract. Stop telling them that your boyfriend's coming from overseas to come and visit you, but he didn't take his COVID test yet and he's not on the flight yet. Stop telling them your business. Now, obviously, you can tell that I have some personal experiences when it comes to these things. So, number 1, I was supposed to leave the United States, or well, I did leave the United States in July. I got a job opportunity to move to Luxembourg like in April. So, I was waiting to move, and I was prepared to move. I had my bags packed, everything, a week before I took the flight out of the United States. We had a whole group Teams meeting, and they said, unfortunately, we will not be following through with any of our offers or contracts. A week before. Imagine all these people like, oh, you're leaving for Luxembourg, oh, how's it in Luxembourg, how are things? And you literally have to tell all these people, actually, you know what, that actually fell through. It was not a good feeling. It didn't feel good, it didn't taste good, it didn't smell good. I didn't like it. So that was number 1. Number 2, I think 6 weeks before my boyfriend arrived in, well, I booked my boyfriend's trip out 6 weeks from when he arrived in South Africa. And you know what, we were so excited, we planned everything, people knew that he was coming, friends knew that family knew he was coming. And the week that my boyfriend had to fly, that Saturday, he was supposed to fly the Friday, that Saturday, won't he get the flu? Won't he get COVID-like symptoms? He ended up not having COVID, so we didn't have COVID. However, so many things happened that week that he missed 2 flights. He missed 2 flights, which means that he had to take more than 1 PCR test. Which means that just because he missed his flight on Saturday didn't mean that he could book a flight for like Sunday or the next day. We literally had to take another PCR test, another COVID test, wait 3 days, and then, you know, hopefully, God willing, that test was not positive. Then we could book. We literally booked his flight the day he left. We booked his flight the morning. He left the afternoon. I promise you, I didn't tell anyone. I learned my lesson from the week before. I didn't tell anyone. All I did was, when he landed, I posted a picture that I was at international arrivals. Because the amount of stress it puts you through, the amount of having to answer people's questions, and then people don't really accept it when you say, no, he's not coming, like, he missed his flight. Then it's, why? What happened? How could that now happen? Oh my word. And I don't need that. I don't need you to say any of that. Don't even respond. Just say, friend, I'm sure that he'll be here within the next few days. Don't come with your questions. Don't. In any case, that was lesson number 4. Lesson number 3. Just because you plan for something to happen doesn't mean that it's going to happen that way. And you know, this actually comes from lesson number 4. I planned so many things. You know, I had timetables, I had budgets, I had, you know, oh, we're gonna do this thing, we're gonna do that thing. None of it played out the way that I thought it was going to. Not to say that things didn't turn out better, because things did turn out better with regards to both situations, because God is faithful and He knows. Like, He knows the end product. He knows what you actually need compared to what you think you want. So regardless of my disappointments, I still had amazing successes coming from that. But again, just because you plan something doesn't mean it's going to end up happening the way that you think that you've planned for it to happen. I think from this whole thing, this whole 2020, I've learned that I can't control anything, that I should stop trying to control things, and I should just leave it up to God, leave it up to the Father, because He has my best interest at heart. He knows what the future holds. And when I surrender that way, you know, die to self, when I surrender that way, things really do work out the way that they're supposed to. And that was like my maturity during 2020. Number 2, as I just said, I was without work, without a boyfriend for like 6 months. You need to be grateful for the smaller things that the society has taught us is normal. Actually, it's not even small things. We need to be grateful for the big things that society has taught us is normal, and that we should, and that is small. Okay, so the fact that I had a job, that I got a job after being unemployed for about 2 or 3 months, actually 3 months. The fact that my friend put me up to live with her while I was in Ireland for 2 months, huge blessing. The fact that I could come home, help my parents, help my sister with her wedding and everything, huge blessing. Just having a roof over your head, having people to talk to, these are things that I'm so grateful for. I actually don't think that I could have survived 2020 without. And that actually leads me to my biggest lesson learned for 2020, and that is that I need people. I am an extremely independent person. It's largely based on how I was raised, but also because of the type of industry that I'm in, the fact that I've moved abroad twice and had to be there on my own, no friends, no family. I had to become independent. But when I was in quarantine in Ireland for 2 weeks, not being able to see people, not being able to talk physically with people face to face, because even though I moved to these places alone, the countries that I moved to, I still had people that I worked with. So I saw people every day, I communicated with people every day. But having to be quarantined in a little studio apartment for 2 weeks, that really taught me a big lesson, is that I cannot be an island on my own. No man is an island. We need people. We need relationships. So I know that some of you, they think that you're independent, that you cut off people, you know, for the smallest thing. I was like that too, but I've learned that I need to communicate with people, and I found that I actually have a very close group of people around me, and I'm fortunate and so blessed to say that those people are my family members and are my friends, that I'm able to talk to them, I'm able to communicate with them, laugh with them, sit in their company for hours on end and not get bored and want to leave because I have a social battery of like 2 hours. After 2 hours I'm done, like I'm about to go, bye. So biggest lesson learned of 2020 is that I need people, and I need people who are like-minded. I need people who love God the way that I love him, who count on his faithfulness, count on his provision, because without people like that, it's very difficult for me to sustain a conversation, and it's very difficult for me to remain in your presence for a very long period of time. So I just like to thank everybody that's been in my circle for 2020. I really appreciate you, and may God bless you. To my viewers, thank you so much for watching Chats with Charnie. Thank you so much for subscribing to Chats with Charnie, for watching my videos. It means so much to me. Chats with Charnie was not made for me for selfish gain at all. It was made for you. It was made for the viewers. It was made to give you more information. It was made to enlighten you about certain things, and I'm so glad that it has achieved its goal. So happy 2021 to everyone, and may God bless you, and may you have an awesome week further. Ciao.